And welcome back. If you missed the first segment, you missed the first segment. And it was about the Fall Festival and all the good things that happened up here. And now, next, we are going to talk about, this show is supposed to talk about pressing issues, important issues, things that are happening in the whole county. And the whole county, next Tuesday, the county commissioners will be in Tonopah, but you can come down if you're in the southern part. We will be in the central part in Tonopah. And that's right about there, right there. Anyway, that's about Tonopah. Anyway, we're going to be hearing the increase in the gasoline tax. I'm going to walk you through some of that, some of the background for it. We've had about 4 public hearings on this, mostly at the RTC level, because this is a tax that the RTC, the Regional Transportation Commission, gets to spend. That board is comprised of 2 commissioners and 1 person at large. Frank Carboni and myself are on that board. I am the chairman of that board. And then John Koenig is our person at large. And the money that's collected from this tax has to be spent on road improvements, road maintenance, cannot be used for salaries. So first off, let's get that out of the way. We are not increasing this tax so we can hire more people or buy more equipment. This has to go to actual projects and material for those projects. So we were presented with a PowerPoint presentation, and we'll put it up here on the screen in just a second. The PowerPoint presentation, this was presented to the Regional Transportation Commission, and then it was also then presented to the Board of County Commissioners. Before we had the PowerPoint, we had a few hearings on it. Give me the next slide, please. So the county road system is a valued asset and was built over generations. Roads, bridges, a bridge, we do have a bridge, sidewalks, traffic signals, drainage, traffic improvements, and signage. Next. What's the problem? Revenue has not increased, and the price for services have increased 3 to 5%. That's a little low, but we'll explain that. Fewer people driving and added miles to maintain means less gas tax revenue to do more with. Tax revenue combined with higher prices and added miles means less service. That's a picture, I believe, of Bell Vista Road. There are many roads that are 30 to 50 years old and failing. So anyway, next slide. Key asset failing, Bell Vista west of California's Death Valley National Park. If I just waited, I'd have seen it. Failing road segments in need of repair. Next slide. Why are we here? Revenues that support the county road fund have fallen, and the amount of miles maintained and the cost of services have increased. The road fund supports 2,746.68 miles of paved, chipped, grade, and drain and gravel roads, which includes bridge, traffic signals, and culverts, including plowing roads in the coming winter and major flooding almost every summer. Next slide. Let's see if it gives us what it was. Been a while since I've seen this. Okay, well, we'll read that. The cost of services have been rising. It was $50,000 cheaper to pave 1 mile of road just 5 years ago. 10 years ago, it was $75,000 cheaper. 15 years ago, it was $100,000 cheaper. 20 years ago, it was $125,000 cheaper. And 25 years ago, it was $150,000 cheaper. 25 years ago, you could purchase the same mile of road for $150,000 cheaper than today. And in 1985 was the last time Nye County raised a fuel tax. Actually, there have been discussion. The DA tells us it was 1982. Either way, it's been at least 30 years. All of the goods and services increased in this time. From 2003 to 2007, Nye County's growth rate boomed and took its toll on the southern end of the county's road system. Next slide. How is it different than expected? Okay, Nye County on the far right, or it might be the left of your screen. The screen I'm looking on is the far right. Shows Nye County we're at 4 cents. The other counties that are at 4 cents, other than Douglas County, which is a fairly wealthy county because it's borders Lake Tahoe, they're still at 4 cents a gallon. Esmeralda, Eureka, these counties haven't raised their gas tax to the maximum. Fund 10-2007, and then it shows you the increase and what it's taken. The important figures, I think, to know is that in 1993, because this is as far back as I go to find the miles, we had 718 miles of roads. We now have over 2,700 miles of road. An Impala in 1993 got about 20 miles on the highway. It'll get about 40 miles now. So people are getting more miles per gallon. We have almost 4 times the miles of road that we did have to maintain, and we're still doing it on 4 cents a gallon. Well, we're not really doing it, as you could have seen from some of those, and as you drive around the county, you know. Next slide, please. What does it mean? Reduced storm and disaster response, snow, ice, down trees, flooding, public utilities, less maintenance work. Reduced preventative maintenance will lead to more expensive fixes later. If we can't keep up, and we're not, with the normal maintenance and crack seal and cold patch and all of the other things that we can do, roads will deteriorate faster. You get about 20, 25 years out of a road that's built correctly with a good base and whatever. We have many roads that are way past that. Next slide, please. What are we doing now? Focusing our resources on public safety and necessary maintenance. Managing our work more efficiently, reducing costs by reducing service. Projects that have been identified have been put on hold based on available funding. And to that, the first designs we had for Homestead Road from Game Bird to Mance and engineered plans were produced in 2008. We are just now approving that to go forward this year. So a lot of things get put off, and that's what the road department and Public Works has been doing. We've had to reduce our focus and do only necessary and safety repairs, and we haven't been able to keep up. Next page, please. Where does the money go? How are regional road maintenance dollars utilized? Regional roads are deteriorating, require maintenance. Maintenance and construction must keep up with population growth. Preventative measures. For every $1 not spent to maintain roads, it'll require $4 spent to repair roads. So we need to get these dollars in for maintenance, and we need these dollars also to replace and repair roads that, for instance, Mance Road had about we didn't really have a base under it, but now it's got 16 inches of base. Anyway, you need a good base to keep a good road. Next slide. Fuel tax dollars must be spent on roads. This is what I mentioned before. It's authorized by NRS 737, and all of those, distribution, all net proceeds shall be deposited in the fund of the county treasurer and dispersed in accordance with the provisions of NRS 373. And construction on or repair of public roads. Next slide. That has to do with the regional transportation system. There we go. Nye County Road Department continues to try and do more with less. A 5-cent increase in gas tax would help rebuild and maintain a deteriorating road system for years to come. How true. We are at 4 cents a gallon. We have been there for over 30 years. If we increase it 5 cents, we'll go to 9 cents. The next slide, maybe it'll say it. Step in the right direction. Community continues to grow. Tourism's increasing, which brings more cars to the gas pumps. Next slide. I think we're going to get to a very important thing. What can you do? Increase the fuel tax, improve county road systems for next generation users, build roads that are consistent with ADTs for major arterials, assist other services in the future, park and ride public transportation. Next slide. Conclusion, ensure transportation needs keep pace with growth, provide adequate funding, schedule timely preventative maintenance, capital improvements, ensure implementation of competent project engineering, design, and construction. Next slide. Thank you for supporting and improving Nye County Regional Transportation Commission. Stay informed. Okay, come back to me. And I've got about 4 minutes, I think, to wrap this up. I've looked at this for a number of years. It was a question in 2006 as a information-only question on the ballot. I voted against it in 2006. I was not well informed. I did get appointed to the Regional Planning Commission in 2006, served till about 2009. I was elected in 2010 to this position. In this position, I have looked for the last 4 years. How can we get funds to these roads? This is it. We got to increase the road tax. It's the only solution I came up with. Oh, you can cut this, you can cut that. We have cut, and you'll see in the next commission meeting where we were at in 2005 and where we are now. We have not increased salaries. We have not increased employees. We've really cut every department. And the road department is working, doing more with less. This money has to be spent, again, on material. Only 10% can be used for engineering and administrative costs. This will not put any more people on salary. It will not increase longevity costs. This will actually go to improve our road system. With good infrastructure, you get more businesses. Right off the top, everybody should know that if you don't know it. You get more people willing to invest in their properties, build nicer homes, keep their properties maintained. This just benefits all of that. And if we don't have good road systems, we're not going to attract those businesses. We need to keep up with just the maintenance of our roads. We're at least 3 cents behind with the maintenance. If we go the full 5 cents, we will bring ourselves to the cap. We cannot increase past 9 cents a gallon without a vote of the public. If we just increase it 3 cents, we're going to leave 2 cents on the table for another 30 years until another county commission steps up and does what's needed. Yeah, it's not always popular, and I get that, believe me. I've heard from a lot of people who tell me, don't raise the gas tax, find another way to do it. I've looked at it for 4 years, and I've asked one gentleman in particular, please, find me another way to do it. He said, well, that's your job. True it is. It is my job to find those solutions. This is the solution for that problem. Been at 4 cents for over 30 years. Miles have almost quadrupled. We had 718 miles in 1993. We have 2,700 miles now to maintain, second only to Clark County, if not surpassing Clark County, believe it or not, because if you know, as you can see, the size of Nye County here. This is Nye County in orange. We are the third largest landmass in the entire country. We have more. We cover more square miles than some states. So to be able to keep up with maintenance, we've got to raise this fuel tax. It should go to 9 cents. Nothing can be raised above that without a vote of the people. And that then will be up to us to try to give you reasons why we should. But bringing this up to this point is completely within the NRS, and it's our job to do. As county commissioners in a republic, you elect us to make these decisions. You elect us to do the business of government. And this is the business of government. Let me stress one last time. This money cannot be used for salaries. It cannot be used for salaries. It is overseen by a 3-person board, myself, Frank Carboni, and currently John Koenig. We have moved forward with what we can. We are strapped, folks. If you want better roads, you want your road maintained, then support it. Write to your commissioners. Tell them you support a 5-cent increase in the gas tax. We will still be far below Clark County, who's at about 13 cents, or they're way up there. Anyway, when we come back, we're going to talk about some other issues in Nye County. We're going to talk about lots of stuff. Stick around.